So, this is the second version and the currently public version of DE Police. I think this is at a point where we were considering changing the name to DE Parking. This has a little bit more contextualization of adding in some textures and some models. Large models, I can't say for sure that we got rid of all the large models in place of just adding in more brushwork, but yeah. Now instead of like a big open car park, the purpose of it has changed a little bit. So now we have this lower area for Ts to enter and start fighting with CTs in this nice situation here. I think this was a serious flaw that we came up with. We put this together. I think this was Simi's work from my suggestion. But there's no, like, there's a bomb site here, very evidently, but there's no plant zone. And I added this staircase, because I love my staircases. We have an upper version of the parking lot, too. And I don't think this even has, yeah, this is missing a bomb plant zone. Maybe? Yeah, this is definitely missing a bomb plant zone. So I think we were kind of torn on where the bomb plant zone was supposed to be. It was supposed to be this upper area where like you can contact people or wait for cabs maybe, and the sort of parking garage style like ramp that goes down to a lower floor and a ramp that goes up to a higher floor. You've got the police car blocking access to the next one. This is kind of a big parking garage. I guess parking garages are pretty big, but even still, you know, still trying to figure out scale and other factors. Here is the CT spawn location. Oh, sorry. Here is CT spawn, and here at CT spawn you can head out and walk over to a site, which now has way more models and contextualization. There's a lot more interesting geometry that makes up the site. You know, you've got this outside courtyard. You know, honestly, this outside courtyard in of itself would have made a really great bomb site. I don't know why we were so bent on trying to really make sure this was an interesting staging area before the real bomb site. Inside here is a main lobby, and over here is like our FBI computer station, and this is bomb site A. This is where you're supposed to do the planting, with this whole courtyard site outside being like a staging location, and it connects up to middle all the same. But now there's no more restaurant, there's just a single highway. I think there was an intent at some point to, you know, encourage battles to happen. Hold on. There is an intent to encourage battles to happen sort of like on these planters and between these toilets or something. Like trying to get the good angle was going to be tricky. You could hide behind here and sort of hide your head with the foliage as you passed by sort of undetected. Suddenly crawling into a location where you could be seen. I remember having a lot of battles with Simi on here in between this corridor. But the real bomb site is like way back here. There's of course opportunities to do sort of grenades out of the sites. I'm not really sure if we had much of an intent for something specific. Great. Yeah, that's a little better. You know, maybe you could use that to like leave the site safely, but you know, it doesn't help you gain ground. Oh, almost, okay. That didn't go in. Did it? Yeah, not quite. What's it gonna take to, like, get the right angle for this? What the heck? Stand in the middle of the bench. There's no good lineups, it seems. What could you even smoke off if you... Yeah, so this smoke location isn't that useful, and this smoke location isn't that useful either. So, you know, we had some ideas, but nothing too concrete. We just wanted to open the map up and hope that something interesting came out of it. You know, maybe this blocks off this location, but you still have to fight that. We had this separate side locker room for the FBI thing, or maybe it was going to be like a server room. I think I even have, yeah, locker room, control room, administration. This is the locker room, this is the control room, and this is the vending machine room? Yeah, another situation where we had like two side-by-side locations that didn't necessarily need to be there. It just kind of changed up how you might approach the site, but, you know, decisions didn't feel as meaningful. I spent a lot of time trying to get this overarch to look kind of pleasing and sensible. I'm definitely kind of out of my league because, you know, this is supposed to be an office park and this is supposed to be like a federal government building, but then you've got, you know, this, maybe that could work in some sense, but then this looks pretty, I don't know, like it's a town, like a Netherlands-looking window, a Dutch-looking window and a Dutch-looking sort of like street corner. You're going down these stairs. There's all these crates covering up and like a tarp. I think, yep, I got the payday masks there as a Easter egg. But I think there was a couple of efforts, like by both of us, to try to cover up some of the worst sight lines. Like as you step out of here as a CT and you want to fight Ts over here in this location, you know, you're not totally exposed to highway until you step out here and try to do something about it. But that's still a lot of distance to potentially get messed up by. Got it. More contextualization. I don't know what I was doing with the shape of this spawn. I think I did a little bit of this. What I think is neat is that I can't tell what contributions were mine and what contributions were Simi's. You know, we worked on this map pretty tightly in tandem with each other. Like, you know, I worked on this and then found out that there was a pretty bad sightline if you just stand here, because you can see all the way to where the T's exits, and so then I decided to add in the crates, and then I added in the tarp to try to cover up the crates, this outside park area, you know, even just like this outdoor area itself, you know, maybe a bomb site here, maybe a bomb site here, maybe CT is here, and maybe T is like, I don't know, back here, or back here. You know, something could have been made to work out. I think a lot of the scope of this map was supposed to be way bigger than it actually ended up. This whole side room with like a TV in it. The storage room, that was an intentionally dark room, the control room. This truck loading dock, a room for exactly one truck, very utilitarian and useful. So yeah, I think something that I definitely learned while going through this project is just how interesting maps can become when you work with somebody, because you get like a story to tell as you work with them. I got to express a little bit of my specific desire for details with like this location and this location. I think Simi did a lot of the work on this outdoor park location. I think I messed a little bit with these plants, but it's definitely his work to add in these porta potties here to try to block up the sightline a little bit, but not completely. You know, it sort of evolved to become its own thing. I definitely sort of realized, like, you know, simple layouts where things make sense and people understand what's going on is actually kind of a good thing. Like, people know what they like. And as much as you want to experiment and innovate with new ideas, like even just the way that you execute those simple ideas can be something pretty unique and different. Yeah, even the way that you execute those simple ideas can be something unique and different. Consider this bomb site, and then there's an outside staging area, and then another outside staging area connector from middle, and, you know, other confusing sections. Yeah, something like that. So anyway, that's DE parking. I think we were onto something with an earlier version of the map before, like, this was a thing, when we were kind of pushing away from having stuff up here, maybe. Maybe if this, I don't know, heck, this could become CT, and they could guard like here or here, and T's have to, I don't know, start here, making the map like way smaller. There's a lot of potential for different ways this map could be, like, I guess, interpreted. Different ways that this map could be interpreted to create different layouts and different structures. I think it's a bit big, but, you know, it could still match up to be something. I think we did a few more edits to this map, and that didn't get published to the workshop version, but, you know, we were working on this pretty readily. We were working on this back and forth a whole lot, and it was kind of fun to work on just as an ongoing thing. With that, that is the end of the DE Police, DE Parking story. I don't think we totally agreed on what kind of name it could have, you know, kept changing things. But we were kind of converging on the same idea for like a setting and how to contextualize the geometry and the gameplay into something. Don't know how I feel about this, but, you know, I totally agree with what we were doing here and what we were doing here, inside for this bomb sites even. And, you know, even just how this kind of turns out makes it look like it's the CT spawn of Office or something. You know, it's still trying to look for inspirations across the main line of vanilla maps to push the direction of how we would theme and focus on the map story. With that, that is it for DE Police, and I'll move on to the next map.